So for as long as I can remember, I've always been using cameras and taking photos just of my daily life. Now it started when I was a kid playing around with my dad's camera, taking photos of mountains and landscapes as I'd be hiking around. And as I grew up, I noticed the photography also changed with me. Now that started from landscape photography, moved to street, and then at the moment I'm really enjoying portrait photography. Now over the last week with Gakuen Peace, my friends, we took a trip to Hiroshima where we did a little road trip, and I dedicated a couple of days to reinvigorate the spark and sort of rediscover my love for photography.
Hello, I mistook you for a dream. The engine glowed. I guess you always seem to know. Hello.
Now there is a common phrase that I really do believe in, and it is the art of showing up. There could always be better weather conditions for photography, videography. You could be feeling more inspired when you're painting, and especially for photography, lighting is one of the most important things when it comes to taking photos. But even on a gloomy weather like this, you can definitely find angles and shots that just work out. Honestly, none of the pictures here were outstanding by any means, but as I haven't taken photos in a long time, this was a much needed warm-up. Consciously thinking and looking for a photo is something that you get used to over time, but if you haven't done it in a while, it takes a lot of mental capacity to really rack your brain around, how do I take a good photo? Especially when you cannot rely on great lighting conditions. Now this ideology of just showing up and trying was definitely a part of both of the days that I'm going to be talking about today. Now, Japanese Mandarin is called a mikan, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong. But this island is just full of mikan at the moment. The time we went was mikan season, so everything was mikan flavored. And we got this ice cream, and oh my god, I think it was actually the best ice cream that I've ever had. The camera that I've been using for this trip is the Contax T2. This is a little point and shoot camera. There's not too much flexibility with it, but it is perfect for capturing everyday moments. Now, I think something as trivial as getting a mikan ice cream and just seeing that area with all the mikan like advertisement is just something worth documenting. So I took some photos. I wasn't sure if the images were going to turn out cool or not, but in the end, I don't think it really matters because that is just a memory, and that is important just in itself.
Oh yeah. これね、みかん not orange. みかん It's 100% みかんね
みかん from here, 100%.
Now just around the corner from the Mikan service station that we had a little stop by at, there was a walkable island.
There is a life I lead in this city, hurrying to cut my teeth. I can take what I need to get by, doesn't make it easy. The other piece of my heart moves slow, somewhere in the greater moon.
There's a path, and when the water tide is low, you can just walk onto it. It's a very cool little place, and I think it was awesome to collaborate with Peace and Kaku here because, you know, as a creative, the three of us there, we all had different visions, and we're kind of just bouncing ideas off each other, getting crazy images, and yeah, just having a good time. After this, we traveled to a little town called Yanai, and they are famous for their kingyo lanterns. Goldfish lantern. Anyway, the town, they just made a living off these little paper kingyos, and I'm all here for it. I bought a couple myself. When we got to the town, it wasn't too busy, so we took some photos of the streets, of the kingyo, like paper lantern things, and yeah. Now this whole first day of shooting, I wasn't really paying too much attention and trying too hard with the camera, rather just getting used to the fact of taking photos again. Videos and photos, they're a little bit different, so the perspective that you're shooting it also changes. So getting back into the photography mode, I think it probably took the whole day really to just get used to the camera again. Now as we were heading home, the sun was setting, the clouds were parting a little bit, and the boys had a pretty good idea of where to go.
Clean meat. Don't know if you could hear that or not, but I just finished the roll of film. This was a really fun day actually. I haven't been shooting film too much recently, and just to be able to go out, take some pictures of anything that I like, it's a nice feeling.
Now it's kind of funny, when all three of us got there, we all sort of like, without saying a word, separated three ways and just like shot our own videos and photos and stuff for like an hour as the sun set, and the sun just got better and better. I wouldn't have known that the sunset was going to turn out like that, and this is just one of those things that you just got to show up, figure it out on the spot, and just enjoy the experience, because it might be something really memorable, it might be something dull, but either way you never would have known unless you were there. Photography and videography has been one of the most valuable skill sets that I have acquired in my life. And if you're an artist that wants to try something new, then I would highly recommend today's sponsor of the video, Skillshare. Now, if you don't already know, Skillshare, it is the largest online learning community with over thousands of courses on different topics led by industry experts. So if you want to learn photography or videography, something else such as painting, drawing, etc., there is a course for you. If you want to learn the basics of photography, there are a few really good courses that I would recommend. Check out Sean Dalton, he breaks it down really easily in a course-like structure to learn the basics and fundamentals of photography. Once you learn the fundamentals and basics, you can go crazy with everything and try it out to create your own unique style. Another course that I recently saw is by Caleb and Niles. These guys, fantastic filmmakers. I've been watching these two guys for a while now. They are fantastic filmmakers, and they break down a course on iPhone filmmaking. This essentially strips down everything so that even beginners with iPhones can make really great stories. As an artist, I think it is extremely important for us to keep evolving and try new different things. Not only will this help us become better artists, but also it will help us from not suffering creative burnout. So if this interests you, the first 500 people to use my link will get a free 1 month trial. 1 month is definitely a lot of time to go try different things, so go check that out. But with that, let's head on to the second day of my trip. So in the early AM, we headed to a shrine tried to get there before anyone, just so we could get the whole place to ourselves and take some beautiful pictures. While here, I was intentionally trying to use a little bit more of a skillful approach with photography. Making the most of the architecture of the shrine, I was trying to use subframing. I talked about this a lot on the channel. It's a simple technique where you just use a frame in a frame. For example, the shrine, there's a lot of geometrical architecture. Placing a subject within a frame and then taking a photo of that, it gives a lot of depth and context to an image. I personally really like this. And this is one of those go-to techniques, I guess, that I've been using throughout my life. So being more intentional with my photography on this day, I think it led to better results, and I felt a little bit more proud of myself, to be honest.
I'm trying to get that shit again. Okay.
The location just kept getting better because up the hill there was a huge white mountain rock area. And this area was full of these big boulders that were just pure white with big nice like opening holes in them that, you know, were perfect to place a subject in between. So I spent a little bit of time here sort of fishing, I guess, waiting for the perfect subject to walk through the frame so I could get a great shot.
Fucking go, man. My camera's like half broken.
Now, Onomichi is one of those places that I've always heard of, but I've never been to before. I've seen lots of pictures as well from other friends of mine, but this was the first time I was there with my camera to take some photos. So it was pretty exciting. But unfortunately, the weather, again, it was pretty gloomy and it was actually forecasted to rain later on. So we decided we'd try to do everything quickly before the rain settled in. And yeah, that's what we did.
Onomichi, this is like a little town. It's sandwiched by river and mountain, which is kind of interesting. So we're gonna go climb a big mountain now towards a shrine and see what's up.
Now on this trip, I was starting to realize the limitations of what a point and shoot camera can actually do. Honestly, it is great for everyday life, capturing and documenting those moments, but if you're trying to be artistic and get accurate pictures, this might not be the one. For example, Peace, he's been shooting on a Canon camera. It's one of the last film cameras that Canon ever produced, so it's a beautifully designed and very functional camera that takes just great images. And the pictures and the quality of the images that he was taking, it just like, it looks different to what I'm taking, but this is just the nature of our different types of cameras. Mine's super small, compact and pocketable. His a little bit more bulky and heavy. There's a trade-off for each one. I knew this already, but it is something that I just was reminded of on this trip. I love shooting with the T2, but there are definitely times where I want something a little bit more accurate. Now at the start of the video I mentioned the art of showing up is just something that would resonate throughout the whole video, and definitely it did. We saw the forecast, we knew that it was going to rain later, but we just rolled with it. We decided just go out, have fun, try to shoot what we can. If it starts raining, that's fine, we can just pack up and head home. And at the end of the day, I had a really good time. And now shooting pictures with my friends, traveling around Japan is just like, that's amazing, right? So I was really thinking on the day, like, I really shouldn't worry too much about the conditions being perfect or not. I should just go out, have fun, enjoy myself, and then regardless of what happens, I might get good photos, it might not be good photos, but it'll be great memories.
Whew. On top of the world, baby!
With a video for the
tube.
For the tube.
Yeah, for the tube. Damn. It's crazy, dude. It's kind of raining now though, so I'm gonna put my rain jacket on, maybe put this camera away, put the bags away, put the cameras away, keep everything safe, and head back, get a coffee or something. That kind of weather. Okay, so
creating things without worrying that the final product will be perfect is such a liberating feeling. If you're trying to evolve as an artist, the best way to do this, I believe, is repetition. Keep producing things, whether it's the best thing you've ever made or the worst thing you've ever made. No matter what happens, if you keep making things, you're taking a step in the right direction. This is something that I should be constantly reminding myself, and it is also why I made this video for all of you out there, because I think showing up, trying things, regardless of whether it's going to be perfect or not, is very important for us. My friend Gaku, he recently actually made a video on this topic as well, so if you want to hear his thoughts on it, go check that out. You won't regret it. I want to thank Gaku in Peace not only for just traveling with me this trip, but also for helping me film this. There's a lot of clips in here that I wouldn't have been able to do by myself, so arigato. And thank you for making it to the end of this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Cool.
ちょっと待って。もうちょい。Bro.